Happy True Crime Tuesday. It's me. Same old me. Today we're here to talk about JonBenét Ramsey. My way of doing this, as you may have noticed from last episode, is reading the Wikipedia and just discussing it from there. I think we all know who JonBenét Ramsay was. She was a child beauty queen, according to Wikipedia, who was killed at the age of 6 in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. So we've all seen her pictures. She was a very dolled up little girl who, honestly, I feel like children don't need to be dolled up like that. But you know what? Everybody raises their children the way they raise them. So I am on the Wikipedia page, Killing of JonBenét Ramsay. And let's see. Let's just go straight to evidence. The evidence, the first thing noted here was a ransom note. According to statements that Patsy gave to authorities on December 26th, 1996, she realized that her daughter was missing after she found a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note on the kitchen staircase at the Ramsey family Boulder residence. The note demanded $118,000, the equivalent to $194,714 in the year 2020. And girl, I'm not gonna read the note. It starts with "listen carefully," and then, baby, it's a long thing, a long note of things to be read that I personally will not read. If you want to see the note, of course, you can Google it, you can read it. But no, no. For me, the ransom note was unusually long. I agree. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, who we all know as the FBI, I don't know why I can't speak today. I guess because I haven't done, full disclosure, I ain't done a video in like a month. By the time you're seeing this, I mean, you will see videos in the week. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Not you. Let me see. FBI told the police that it was very, very unusual. It wasn't 2 varies, but I put the extra very because, girl, why did you take so long to write this ransom? It's just too much. For such a note to be written at the crime scene, because the note was written down to the house, girl. That's crazy. For me, my mama, when I was a child, used to do walkthroughs. She just get up and walk through the house. And I'm that type of person too, where I'm gonna get up and see what's going on. You're not going to stand there and write a 2-page ransom note, murder my daughter, and get out the house without me seeing something crazy. The police believe that the note was staged because it did not have any fingerprints except for Patsy's and authorities who had handled it. Why the authorities was touching it? Authorities, where's your gloves? Odd. And because it included an unusual use of exclamation marks and initialisms. The note and a practice draft were written with a pen and a notepad from the Ramsey home. So, there's a lot of theory about who all did it, child. They think the mama did it. They think the daddy did it. They think the brother did it. I really don't know. I think the family had something to do with it, and I think the family is weird. But anyway. A federal court ruled it highly unlikely that Patsy wrote the note, citing 6 certified handwriting experts. Okay. I guess, child. The only people we're at the 911 call and initial search for the child. The only people known to be in the house on the night of JonBenét Ramsay's death were her immediate family, Patsy and John Ramsey, and their son, Burke. The ransom note contained specific instructions against contacting police and friends, but Patsy telephoned the police at 5:52 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. She also called family and friends, so she just was on the phone with everybody. The note was like, don't tell nobody that we got your daughter, just give us the money. And Patsy was like, girl, let me get on this phone. And I probably would have been the same way if my child went, like, girl, let me get on this telephone and call everybody. Everybody. Let me see. 2 police officers responded to the 911 call and arrived at the Ramsey home within 3 minutes. That's how you know they was white. They conducted a cursory search of the house but did not find any sign of forced entry. Which, girl, that's where it starts getting suspicious, girl. The note was ripped from inside the house. Ain't no signs of forced entry. It's just all bad. Officer Rick French went to the basement and came to a door that was secured by a wooden latch. He paused for a moment in front of the door. How y'all know that? But walked away without opening it. Now, Rick. French later explained that he was looking for an exit route used by the kidnapper, which the closed inside peg ruled out. JonBenet's body was later found behind the door. Now, how we know he paused for a minute? That feels like that feels like a interpretation of what happened and not the facts. Wikipedia. It could say he said he paused for a minute, but how you know specifically he paused? Anyway. John, the father, made arrangements to pay the ransom, and a forensic team was dispatched to the house. It's like, girl, first of all, they got up in your house with no signs of forced entry, so they know the police over there. They apparently smart enough to be able to see that Patsy been on the phone, child, all morning trying to find out, any information. They know the police over there. So at this point, making the arrangements to pay the ransom just don't seem reasonable to me. The forensic team at the house, if they watching the house, they see all of this. The team initially believed that the child had been kidnapped. Why can't I talk today? And JonBenet's bedroom was the only room in the house that was cordoned off to prevent contamination of evidence. No precautions were taken to prevent contamination of evidence in the rest of the house, which, girl, lock my house down. I'll get a hotel. Lock the house down. Search everything and everybody. What? Are you kidding? Lock my house down. Girl, check inside the refrigerator. Check in the toaster, girl. Look for everything. Child, go behind the toilet. Everything. At 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we've moved on to the discovery of the body. At 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Detective Arndt asked John Ramsey and Fleet White. I'm not going to make a joke. I had a The Wiz joke, but I won't do it. This is serious. A family friend, that was Fleet White, the family friend, to search the house to see if anything seemed amiss. Yeah, girl, everything's amiss. The child is amiss. She is missing. Okay. They started their search in the basement. John opened the latched door, which Officer French had overlooked, and found his daughter's body in one of the rooms. How many rooms was down there? How many rooms y'all got in the basement? JonBenet's mouth was covered with duct tape, a nylon cord. Okay, we don't have to go into it. If you want to know the gories, you can look that up yourself. But anyway, John picked up the body and took it upstairs. When JonBenét was moved, the crime scene was further contaminated. Not for me, girl. What? Everything about it. Everything about this story. Like, the police, I feel like the police bungled this as much as the family did. Because why you ain't closed off the whole house? The autopsy, because we're at the autopsy now. The autopsy revealed that JonBenét had been killed by strangulation and a skull fracture. The official cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. There was no evidence. I'm not even going to read all of that because that's gory and we don't have to be there. Her death was ruled a homicide. That's what it was ruled. A garrote. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the when they put a string around your neck or whatever, and then they twist it to make you die. was made from a length of nylon cord, and the broken handle of a paintbrush was tied around JonBenet's neck and had apparently been used to strangle her. I know I said I wasn't gonna get into the gories, but I read that. Let's see. She may have had some pineapple before she died. I don't understand. I've heard this story about her having pineapple, and I just really don't. Okay, she ate some pineapple. Congratulations. Photographs of the home taken on the day when JonBenet's body was found show a bowl of pineapple on the kitchen table with a spoon in it. However, neither John nor Patsy say they remember putting the bowl on the table or feeding pineapple to JonBenét. Now, mind you, she's 6, so she could probably go up in the fridge and get her own pineapple at this point. If it was already cut up, she could get it, but whatever. They found Burke Ramsey, the brother, the 9-year-old brother. They found his fingerprints on the bowl. The Ramseys have always said that Burke slept through the entire night until he was awakened several hours after the police arrived. That's crazy too, because the first thing I'm gonna do if my daughter's missing is bust up in my son's room and be like, "Is she in here? Where's she at? You know where she at?" First thing I'm gonna do immediately. This little piece of hair, girl. What's your problem? Just okay. So they took some blood samples and established a DNA profile and yada yada. You know, it belonged to an unknown male person and excluded all of the Ramseys. It's still very fishy. Still very fishy. What do you want? Girl, Snapchat just be like, remember what you were doing this day 3 years ago? No, I don't. As far as the investigation, experts, media commentators, and the Ramseys have identified potential suspects in the case. Let's talk about the suspects. I know they had one dude that was like Santa Claus. He was play Santa down to the mall or something like that. I'm trying to find him. Anyway, child, they had a bunch of suspects, but long story short, it had never been solved. Not once, girl, has it been solved. And it should be by now. It's been 96, 2006, 2016. It's been almost 30 years. I had to count that out. It's been what, 24 years? Or thereabout? 25? I don't know, whatever. I can't count. Like, something needs to have come forth by now. Theories and suspects. Family member theory. There are 2 types of theories. I'm sure there are more about the death of JonBenét. One is the family member theory. Boulder police initially concentrated, I'm struggling today, almost exclusively upon the parents, John and Patsy Ramsey. According to Greg McCrary, a retired profiler with the FBI, statistically, it's a 12-to-1 possibility that it's a family member or a caregiver who is involved in the homicide of a child. The police saw no evidence of a forced entry, but they did see evidence of staging of the scene, such as the ransom note. They did not find the Ramseys cooperative in helping them solve the death of their daughter. Exactly, girl. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, because the first thing I would have done was bust up in Burke's room. How he was able to sleep until after the police got there is crazy to me. The Ramseys had said their reluctance was due to their fear that there would not be a full investigation for intruders, and that they would be hastily selected as the key suspects in the case. Now, why y'all done thought that far? Y'all shouldn't be thinking that far. Y'all should be trying to find your daughter. Like, crazy. One theory is that Patsy struck JonBenét in a fit of rage after a bedwetting episode, and strangled her to cover up what had happened after mistakenly thinking she was already dead. Which, I know this was like 30 years ago, but listen, if you kill somebody one way and then you try to cover it up by killing them a different way, the girls will know. The investigator girls, they will know. Just go on and let them be. However, Patsy did not have a known history of uncontrolled anger. JonBenet's brother later said, "We didn't get spanked, nothing of the sort, nothing close, nothing near laying a finger on us, let alone killing your child." So, thanks, Burke. Theoretically, the strangulation could have been a red herring aspect to conceal the elements of the assault and killing. Well, now I want to go to the red herring Wikipedia and figure out the origin of that. So if you will excuse me for just a brief moment. A red herring is something that misleads or distracts. I mean, I know what it is. Where did it come from? It may be either a logical fallacy or a literary device. I assumed it was a literary device that leads readers or audiences toward a false conclusion. Yada yada. The term was popularized in 1807 by English polemicist William Cobbett, who told a story of having used a strong-smelling smoked fish to divert and distract hounds from chasing a rabbit. Oh, cute. Love to see it. I love learning. Back to this. I'm sorry, I had to take a detour because red herring was lit up, and I realized at that time, like, oh, it's hyperlinked. I can click the link and actually find out where that phrase came from. Anyway, Burke, who was 9 years old at the time of JonBenet's death, was interviewed by investigators at least 3 times. The first 2 interviews did not raise any concerns about him. A review by a child psychologist stated that it appeared that the Ramseys had a healthy, caring family relationship. In 1998, Boulder Police Chief Mark Beckner said during an interview with a news reporter that Burke Ramsey was not involved in the killing of his sister. In May 1999, the Boulder County District Attorney's Office reiterated that Burke Ramsey was not a suspect. The investigators had never considered him a suspect. The Ramseys offered a $100,000 reward in a newspaper ad dated April 27, 1997. 3 days later, more than 4 months... 3 days after the ad. 3 days later, more than 4 months after the body of their daughter was found, they submitted for the first time to separate formal interviews at the Boulder County Justice Center. In 1999, Colorado Governor Bill Owens spoke out, telling the Ramsey couple to quit hiding behind their attorneys, quit hiding behind their PR firm. He right. A Colorado grand jury voted in 1999 to indict the parents. The indictment called 2 counts each of child abuse, and said the parents did unlawfully, knowingly, recklessly, and feloniously, my God, permit a child to be unreasonably placed in a situation that posed a threat of injury to the child's life or health, which resulted in the death of JonBenét Ramsey, a child under the age of 16. What a mouthful. What a mouthful. People testified, girl, yada yada, no shade to the case. It's just a lot of information on this wiki. Intruder Theory. The second theory is the Intruder Theory. The police and the prosecutors follow leads for intruders, partly due to the unidentified boot mark left in the basement room where JonBenet's body was found. Early persons of interest included neighbor Bill McReynolds, who played Santa Claus. That's who I was trying to find. Former family housekeeper Linda Hoffman Pugh, and a man named Michael Helguth, who died in an apparent suicide shortly after JonBenet's death. Lots and lots, hundreds, they say, of DNA tests were formed to find a match to the DNA recovered during her autopsy. Child, they trying to figure out, did somebody intrude? But nobody has solved the case. False confession, we move on to. Alexis Valoran, I was about to say Valorian, but that ain't it. Valoran Reish, Reich, R-E-I-C-H. A 41-year-old elementary school teacher was arrested in Bangkok, Thailand on August 5, 2006, when she falsely confessed to murdering Jonbenet. She had previously been known as John Mark Carr prior to coming out as a transgender woman. She claimed that she had drugged, sexually assaulted, and accidentally killed her, according to CNN. Authorities also said they did not find any evidence linking her to the crime scene. Why do people just be like, yeah, girl, I did it? What's the reason? If you didn't do it. If you did do it, go ahead and tell us so we can put you in jail. But if you didn't do it, what is the reason? I didn't hit all the notes because I'm tired. In her confession, Reich had provided only basic facts that were publicly known and failed to provide any convincing details. Her claim that she had drugged Jonbenet was doubted because the autopsy indicated that no drugs were found in her body. DNA samples were taken from Reich did not match DNA found on Jonbenet's body. Then Miss Girl, the confessional lady, the false confession girl, sent an email to Bill Hammonds of Bill's Lists seeking a literary agent to help publish a manuscript that some might find controversial. Okay. She sent emails under numerous pen names, including Daxis the Conqueror. Girl, what is going on with her? She later changed her legal name to Alex Valorian Reich, or Delia Alexis Reich, according to a Washington State driver's license. She got a lot going on after coming out as a transgender woman. However, this was denied by Samantha Spiegel, who gained a restraining order from Reich, who alleged Reich only intended to undergo gender reassignment surgery to get closer to young girls in a child sex cult called the Immaculates. Excuse me? The transphobia there. Like, I don't know Miss Reich. I don't know her. I'm not inclined to believe that she underwent gender reassignment surgery to touch on little girls. Like, men do that all the time. Anyway, girl, long story short, JonBenet's case was never solved. They're still looking. Somebody is, not the police, child, but everybody else still looking, trying to figure out what happened to the baby. I want to hear y'all's theories. What do y'all think? Like I said, I don't really have a set theory. I think the family has something to do with it because it's mysterious, child, just very mysterious. And they just were very weird about it. A lot of people think Burke did it. I'm not against that thought. You know, whatever, maybe he did do it. If he did, put him in jail. If the parents did, put them in jail. Put whoever did it in jail. Yeah, but what are your thoughts? Let me know. Thank you for visiting me on True Crime Tuesday, and I'll be back next week. Peace. I said peace and it just didn't stop. The nerve, the gall, the audacity.